Said you were recording.
Yeah. It did
Good
like 10
morning,
minutes.
everybody. Thank you for being here. We're going to get started now. I'm so happy to welcome SIMI with us. She has her company that's local here. It's called Seniors Helping Seniors, and we're going to learn all about that today from SIMI. Go ahead.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Julie. It's nice to meet everyone here. I met Julie a few months ago, and she kind of introduced me to this whole space with senior real estate advisors. So I was really excited to, you know, connect with someone in that space, and she brought me or added me to the agenda for today. So I'm excited to tell you guys about Seniors Helping Seniors, what we do, what we offer. So my agency represents just South San Jose. So obviously, when I speak to Seniors Helping Seniors, even though I represent South San Jose, I think I can speak for anyone because we're located nationwide. So you can literally just hop on the website, type in your city or your zip code, and then find the closest Seniors Helping Seniors. So this is what we're going to cover today. So I'll start with the senior aging outlook. And I'm sure you guys are familiar with this just because of the space you work in, but just kind of wanted to bring up some highlights. So we project by 2030 that there'll be 10 million seniors that are age 16 plus. And this was a study done by the Policy Institute of California. Of that 10 million, they project 1 million seniors will require self-care help. This is in the area of ADL, so bathing, grooming, dressing, and feeding. Um, of the 1 million, they project 100K will be in nursing homes, and the remainder, so the 900K, will need help in their homes. So that's what they're anticipating. As of 2025, we have 9 million seniors that are age 60 plus in California. So these charts kind of go further deep into the seniors that are actually going to need help by 2030. So you can see on this chart on the left that has the orange bars, um, around 2012, we had about 550,000 seniors that needed self-care help. And then they're anticipating a million, so it's going to double by 2030. And then looking at the graph on the right, this blue line represents seniors that are actually at home that need self-care help. So again, personal care basically. And then the line on the bottom, the orange line, are those seniors that need personal care in nursing homes. So it's been kind of at this level of 100,000 because I think it's at capacity. Right now, California um, pays for nursing homes and in-home care through Medi-Cal. So they're kind of at this cap right here of 100K. But you can see kind of the differential. It's about 900,000 that are in their homes that need help and 100,000 in nursing homes. So there is a strong need for in-home care. And of course, there's different ways to get it. There's IHSS, there's private caregivers, and then there's home care in terms of that. So just looking at our county, Santa Clara County, um, this is just aging data that we've been able to pull. So essentially, right as of 2025, there are 440,000 seniors age 16 over. Of this, 17% live alone. I believe it's 75,000. And then of that, 12% are estimated to have dementia or Alzheimer's. I think that's about 50,000 roughly. So that's what we're seeing right now is the outlook. So why seniors helping seniors? Um, More seniors means we have a greater need for compassionate, reliable in-home care. Home is a place where a lot of us, we feel safe and we feel connected. And, there are seniors obviously that need personal care and medical care, but really they need dependable care with everyday living. So the way we kind of do caregiving, our model is different from other agencies, and everyone has a great model to offer. But something that's different about us is that we believe companionship is care. Our caregivers are mature caregivers; they are 50 plus in age. Um, so it's a peer-to-peer model of caregiving. It works really well because um, just closer in generation, the ability to connect over subjects that they might have more in common, and just life experience in aging. They're aging themselves, and so are the clients that they support. So they're able to relate. I have clients and caregivers that will joke saying, "Hey, I have these aches and pains," and all of a sudden, I'm going to the doctor for this, and they're like, "Oh, I have that," and so they're able to just make a joke out of it and find common ground to relate. Something else that's different about us is personalized matching. So not only do we look at services that a senior might need, but we look at personality fit. We want to make sure that they can form a relationship, enjoy each other's company. Loneliness is so common among seniors. So just having the ability to see someone on a day-to-day basis that they enjoy being around because social interactions might be limited because of their situation. And then lastly, we have continuity of care. That means that we're not sending a different caregiver to the home every single shift. It's going to be the same caregiver, unless, of course, they're sick or on vacation. In that case, we would have another caregiver come in. So, kind of honing in on traditional home care versus senior helping seniors. These are kind of just some generalizations. This is not to pick on any other home care agencies, but to kind of just differentiate between seniors helping seniors and traditional home care agencies. So, starting at the top, caregivers are often of all ages. And then our caregivers are mature adults who can relate to the aging experience. They've been caregivers for their parents, grandparents, maybe aunts and uncles that are around as well. And they have empathy, they have compassion, they've reflected on their life, which with that sense of aging, you can also have that sense of reflection. So we find that they're just able to connect on an emotional level as well, or more of a human level. But that's not to say that, of course, there's not great caregivers out there that have those abilities. And then other home care agencies might be focused on just completing the task, but we really do emphasize companionship and meaningful relationships in addition to completing those tasks and providing the support that the senior needs. Caregiver and client matching may be based on availability with traditional home care, whereas with us, we are looking at personality, we're looking at interests and compatibility whenever possible. We don't want our caregiving to feel transactional. We want it to feel like a trusted long-term relationship where both the caregiver and the care receiver can bond. And with traditional home care, you might interact with multiple caregivers. With us, we really strive to provide consistency and continuity whenever possible. And lastly, assistants might focus on personal care, whereas we're focusing also on conversation, hobbies, errands, transportation, and social engagement. So yeah, just a little bit of the differences. These are the services we provide. They're very similar to other home care agencies, but we offer personal care, companionship, meal prep, transportation, light housekeeping, yard work, pet care, medication reminders, and mobility support and transfers. We are non-medical in nature. I just want to highlight that. So that's why our services are focused on these main things. And when it comes to licensing, we are a licensed home care agency in the state of California. We carry liability insurance, workers' comp over our caregivers, and we're also bonded. Our caregivers, they also go through a checking process where they're given a background check. They need to be clean. They have to have a negative TB test. They're trained, reference checks, and they're registered as home care aides. And we do look for a real life caregiving experience. And then most importantly, we look for someone that has a compassionate heart. We want to know their why. Why are they doing this? So this is a bit about our process for when we, have a client that comes to us indicating that they require help, and they'd like us to come to their home, visit them, and start the process. So essentially, we'll come to their home, we'll do an intake that involves understanding the services that they need support on, their medical condition, their personality, as well as their mobility. And then just making sure that the environment is also safe for our caregivers. And then after that, we will match the client and the caregiver. And then if requested, we offer meet and greets. So if the client wants to meet the caregiver before they start, we will go over there, we'll meet for about an hour or less, and to just make sure it's a good fit. Sometimes families just want to have that guarantee just to not feel like, hey, I'm going into this. I've never met this person. I don't know if they're going to be a good fit. So that just gives them a little bit of comfort over that. And then we do offer, as I said, continuity of care, so same caregiver. And then we do regular check-ins. Every 30 days, we will check in with a client, make sure everything's going well. And we also do check-ins with the caregiver. And then every 6 months, we do reevaluate services. We'll visit the client in their home. We'll review the care plan just to make sure, like, has anything changed in terms of care? Has medication changed? Have your needs changed? Things of that nature. And then we also have backup caregivers. So if, for any reason, if anyone calls out, we want to make sure that care doesn't drop. So we'll have another caregiver going. So my agency covers South San Jose. So that's basically Almaden, Santa Teresa, Blossom Hill, Silver Creek, the villages in the Evergreen area. However, if you live outside of those areas, you can easily just go on the Seniors Helping Seniors website, go to locations at the top, type in your city or your zip code, and just find the closest office. You can either call them direct or fill out a form and someone will reach out. So that's it for my presentation. Any questions that I can help answer?
What about foreign languages? How many languages can your caregivers speak?
Yeah, so we do have diversity in our caregivers. We do support with Hindi as well as Vietnamese, Spanish at the moment. And then if there is a need for a language that we don't cover, we will seek out a caregiver that can meet that need for a client.
And do you have a time limitation on how long the caregivers can work for a day?
Generally speaking, we at the most we would do 8-hour shifts, and then there are occasional 12-hour shifts that occur. But we do have a minimum. Our minimum is 3 hours per shift.
Okay.
Is there a minimum like weekly or monthly or?
Yeah, so 2 days a week is our minimum, 3 hours at a time.
You may have said this earlier. I apologize. I come on a little bit late, but what areas do you cover?
Yeah, so our office serves all of South San Jose. So that's Almaden, Silver Creek, Blossom Hill, Santa Teresa, Evergreen, and the villages.
Excellent. So can you also, again, you may have given this, is there a slide with your contact information or phone numbers and stuff like that? Or can you put it in the chat or something?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll add it to the chat. And then if you do need help and your client or yourself is located outside of my territory, we are literally listed nationwide. There's over 200 offices, so you can easily find someone that can serve you in your area.
So what's your process in case the caregiver and the person needing the care don't match and they're going to have to change?
Yeah, absolutely. If it's not working out, we will replace the caregiver with another caregiver who's a better fit.
How many caregivers do you have in your office?
So we currently have 20 caregivers.
Hmm.
Oh, hi, Simi. Sorry, this is Lin. Out of the languages, I did not hear Mandarin. So is that one that you do not have?
Not at the moment, but if there is a client
Mhm.
that has a need for a
Uh-huh.
Mandarin speaking caregiver, that's something that will individually seek out. So we'll look for a caregiver. We do have like a repository of extra caregivers that we haven't brought on yet, just because we want to make sure that we can find them a client. So we will reach out and find a caregiver that would fit those a caregiver that would fit that language and bring them
Uh-huh.
on and make sure that they meet the requirements.
Oh, wonderful.
Mhm.
Okay. For some reason, I didn't see your name in chat, but if you have a
Yeah.
slide that has your information,
Yes.
then can you go back to that slide, please?
I know. I should have
Oh,
added that. That's the one thing I didn't
oh,
add. I'm so
oh,
sorry.
that's the one thing you didn't.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. I don't know why. I was like, I didn't add my own information in here.
That's okay. Um, so okay, and then you guys, so it sounds like you're a concierge for oh, I do see. Okay, that's your website. Okay, see me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like you are a concierge for, like you do intake meetings, or do you, to find out the needs of the the principal, and then you um,
Hmm.
So
match them.
yeah, so on the phone, usually, we'll talk on the phone first.
Mhm,
We'll get some information regarding the senior themselves, the
mhm,
care they need, the schedule they're anticipating, how soon they need it, and
mhm,
if there's any language needs. And then we
mhm,
will schedule a home visit and make sure we have a couple of options for caregivers.
mhm,
Of course, if we can offer more than one. And then we will go ahead and start services on that day. Um,
mhm.
and then just make sure things are operating smoothly and do check-ins, especially in the
Okay.
beginning.
I
And
guess
I'm
you
sorry.
don't,
Oh, go ahead.
I guess you don't offer overnight
We
caregiving
do. Our
services?
care is 24 hours, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And do you take insurance?
We take long-term care insurance and then we are private pay.
Oh, long term. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah, and we manage the whole long-term care process. So as soon as the client initiates it, because that's kind of required, after that we can kind of take over, send in the required paperwork and continue doing that. So everything's
Okay.
seamless. Yeah.
Okay. I know this is a sensitive topic, and I always ask the vendors, like, as real estate agents, you can go online and you can read all about, the agents, but in certain industry, you cannot get reviews. Do you have reviews or people that we can talk to about the services?
Well,
Absolutely. If you go on Google, you can just Google, seniors helping seniors South San Jose, and you'll see our
Uh-huh.
reviews. And I
Oh,
would be
nice.
happy to provide client references. So if you want to
Oh,
talk to
nice.
someone,
Oh, nice.
yeah, I have no problem sharing that. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, I'll be emailing you and to connect you with someone. Yeah.
Okay, great.
And do you typically talk to the person themselves or you talk to their children?
Both actually, it's both ways. Sometimes I'll just talk to children because they're like, hey, mom and dad definitely need more help. I just visited them. We're trying to
Yeah.
figure out, when it's going to happen. I'm trying to get them
Yep.
to agree to care. That's the other
Yes.
hurdle. So they're not
Yes.
ready to accept help, outside help.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So that's a challenge. And they'll keep calling me like, hey, can you try again? So that happens. And then we have seniors that are like, hey, I definitely do need help. I want to find out what this is about because I like this model of caregiving. I'd like to have someone that's my own age,
Yeah.
that could help me.
Yeah. Oh,
what
their
are
own
your
age.
what are your
Okay.
rates like?
So the rate is determined at the home visit and also over the phone. It's dependent on the care that you need.
You have a range?
Um, it would be anywhere from like 42 to $44 an hour.
So do you do an assessment and then you arrive at a level?
That's
And is
correct.
that agreed upon at the family meeting?
Yeah, generally speaking, rates are discussed over the phone to make sure it's a comfortable fit for the family because I don't want to
Well,
go
you
in
have a
there.
range, so you give them the range, right?
Correct.
And then when you do the home visit and the assessment, then you determine at what level they're going to need care, and then you can determine what their rate's going to be.
That's correct.
And then, what are the caregivers' pay rates?
So our caregivers are paid $22 an hour, and then we do evaluate performance and do offer raises.
You
So
have
you have a
benefits?
program for that as well. Do you do W-2 or 1099?
W-2, they're all considered employees.
And do you have benefits?
No, unfortunately, we do not offer benefits at this point in time.
And then do you have a number of hours minimum per week for your W-2s?
Um, Not at the moment, but we have a minimum for client hours.
Well, the three a day would make it that, yeah.
Yeah, they're getting see me, I was from home care, but
Mhm.
these folks are getting a lot of education on home care, so that's why you're getting drilled.
Oh, okay. No, the questions are all good, so I expected this.
That's yeah, because like everybody's getting more and more savvy.
And yeah, there's a lot of agencies in the area too, so.
Yeah, and also I think like the what's hard for people like you is like be like, well, what are you paying the caregivers and stuff like that? But like the margins in home care are so small because it's like operationally you get dragged down so much and things have
Yeah.
changed a lot. So I really do like seniors helping seniors, by the way. I've
Yeah.
just am not a fan of like franchises in home care in general.
I understand.
And placement like right now, this time. But if gun to the head, had to pick a franchise, I'd pick seniors helping seniors.
Well, thanks.
So
That means a lot.
then you are a franchise, right?
Yeah, we are a franchise
Okay.
each. Yeah, they're individually owned, which I mean, I feel like, I mean, I don't know what your guys' experience has been working with franchises, but from my experience working with seniors, helping seniors and other partners in the area, I noticed that everyone who buys a franchise has some sort of experience. They know what it's like to be a caregiver, to see the gap in need and compassionate need for the need for compassionate care. Like the reason I wanted to do this was because I have aging grandparents. My grandpa has severe Alzheimer's, and I've been a caregiver for my mom off and on, as she's been aging. And just someone that actually cares about their client and wants to make sure they're taken care of. And like when I bring a caregiver on, I want to, the way I kind of obviously look at like the things I mentioned, but I look at, okay, is this someone I can send to my own family's home? I don't just want some random or weirdo I send. So that's something I look for. So just kind of relating it to yourself, kind of. That's what I look at.
So you don't offer any medical caregiving with the group then?
No, I'm just not at this moment. It's just too expensive. But I mean, I
Okay.
hope to one day. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but also it's like it's just as long as they're partnering with the right people or identifying it. I like senior helping seniors because I think that they have some flexibility on who they recruit for their caregivers. I think there's like when you're kind of leading with compassion, and I think that there are some people I see it all the time now, like, oh, my dad's looking for to help with, caregiver or transportation, things like that. You're starting to see that now, where some of the seniors themselves are going back into the care force or some places senior helping seniors like a lot of women they'll just do it for their extra like cruise money and things like that.
Hmm.
And so I think it does appeal to a certain type of caregiver. And then I think like senior helping seniors is just more flexible. They're trying to be as flexible as they can for the people that they serve.
Yeah. No, you're touching on all the right points. We have caregivers that are retired, some that just they want to work. They need something to do, or they want some extra money for travel, or their grandkids. And then some they just have such moving and touching stories about how they experienced loss of their friend through cancer. They were a caregiver, or they they've been caregivers for loved ones, and they just have this desire to give back, and this just strikes them as something they really want to do.
Your folks can't do medication management and that sort of thing?
That's correct. We don't do any administration.
I thought,
Yeah.
I want to confirm.
Um, how how do you how do you get clients? How do you get families?
So there's different avenues. One is word of mouth. We have call-ins that just find us on the internet, and then referrals. For example, they knew someone that received help with seniors helping seniors in a different state. So they're like, hey, you should check it out in your area. So we'll get call-ins like that. A place for mom, which can be a hit or miss, honestly. Um, and then I guess referrals through senior living facilities, which we're trying to grow and make, just make those connections, kind of spread what it is we do, because we're not going to be a fit for everyone, but for certain people, we're a good fit.
Simi, where are you located?
So kind of like in the Edenville area.
I don't know where that is.
South,
Oh,
Jessica's in the Central
oh,
California, not Central
oh, okay.
California, but she's not in the Bay Area, but Simi's in South San Jose. So she's by me, Jessica. And
Yeah.
but there's other, so seniors helping seniors being a franchise, and Simi had mentioned this earlier, that there is a locator on their franchise website. and they are national.
Yeah.
So
I can help in their that location too. I did send you a LinkedIn request, see me, so if I can
Okay.
help you, I'm
yeah.
happy to help you.
All right, great. Thank you.
If I like you and your home care and I want to help you, that's a good sign.
So, and the next question, Simi, is your franchise seniors helping seniors as a franchise owner and a business. How does it help you as a business owner to be part of the franchise?
Well, I just like knowing how to operate or all aspects of the business. So that's kind of why I'm also an operator, not just an owner.
Mhm.
Um, it brings more meaning to me to be involved
Mhm.
on the caregiver side and the client side. I want to wake up every day and enjoy what I do. So yeah, I can
Mhm.
take a back state or be on the backs or the sidelines, but I just don't have a desire to do that right now. It just wouldn't be as much fun. So
Well, and what I was thinking too, does that give you the backbone that you need, like a back office, marketing, um, you know,
yeah. So they have like they do some marketing for us, and
mm,
it's for all the seniors helping seniors offices. Um, and they offer us partners that can help us, and we kind of contribute to a fund that helps with marketing. And then
mhm,
obviously we can do our own regional marketing. And then they offer support as well as coaching. So I have a coach that has 20 years of home care experience. So I meet with her weekly. Um, I talk to her about my challenges, things I want to develop more within myself. Um, and so that gives me someone I can kind just like a mentor, I guess. And then seniors helping seniors. Um, so the original owner is Karen Yacombe and her husband. They started in 1998. They have actually retired and they're on the board. At least Karen is. And then her daughter and her son-in-law actually run seniors helping seniors. So there's not like a big gap in like how much it's exchanged hands. It's still within the family and the mottos there, what they're looking for, the qualities. They interview each franchise owner just to make sure that they have, the right experience. They can support this business and help it grow. So yeah, they do their own vetting process, and then they'll actually call us and check in with us. So yeah, I think that the care is there, and the support from what I can tell. Yeah.
Do you offer continuing education or any
Mhm.
kind of okay, for the caregivers after they get employed by you?
Yeah,
Is there
because
mandatory?
it's mandatory, yeah.
Okay,
So when they first start, they're required to do training if they're not already an HCA. And then annually, they're required to do training as well. And this is all state mandated.
okay.
Yeah. And then for those caregivers that also drive for us, we make sure that they have auto registration insurance, and then we check their DMV driving history. If they have anything that would make us have a pause, we won't let them drive. Or yeah, so that's another thing. Not all of our caregivers are going to want to drive, but majority do. And then we do check their driving records.
Yeah, one of my favorite charities here that as a volunteer group, they offer rides to seniors for various doctor's appointments and so
Mhm.
forth, but they can't do it for certain surgeries. For instance, a colonoscopy, they can take you there, but they won't be able to bring you home, and they say that's because of the insurance. Is that something that you've experienced too?
Because of the insurance.
Yeah, they said the liability and the insurance won't let them, carry somebody that's had the well operation or whatever it might be.
Huh.
So
I've had a senior, she had just knee surgery and we brought her home. I'm not sure about colonoscopy. So I'd have to look in to see if there's any limitations on that. So that's a new one for
okay,
me.
okay.
Um, I had going back to the marketing and your franchise. Now,
Mhm.
do you collaborate with your neighboring franchise owner?
We do. We've gone in on advertising together. We've done events together. We just did the senior color walk. It happens, actually, I think it happened 2 weeks ago. And we just had a booth together. We met other seniors that needed support or wanted to become caregivers, what have you. And we also love to learn about other resources so we can share it with seniors, right? Which is what you're doing. So, for example, we might have someone call in and they really just need housekeeping, but they call us because they think that our seniors will just stick to housekeeping. But I'm like, it'd be cheaper if you just hired a housekeeper. And so, or someone that just needs transportation. So it really varies because there's actually a lot of free or reduced pricing for transportation in this area, which is really nice for some seniors that need it. So,
Well, that's good that you collaborate because, this is quite a big region, the Bay Area. How many franchise owners are in the Bay Area? Do you know?
yeah. Sorry, I'm just doing a mental tally.
1,000.
No,
I
not
think
the
I think
thousand.
I think that what's a tough thing about the industry right now is that we have a growing amount of seniors that need help. We have less pool of resources, financial resources to support it, and then we have an oversaturation of companies.
Yeah.
So I just one company in Santa Barbara recently, they said, you've been in this industry for a long time. What do you think? Do you think, what do you think of the future? I go, well, just fine. If you knock out like two of the companies here, you'll be great. And like, well, how do you do that? I'm like, well, I'm not going to tell you. That's going to cost you money. But it's kind of like, but I see partnering, if companies partnered more, it would be more smooth. And I think that people like you and your attitude are more, it's easier to work with. It's for the clients, for the customers, for the caregivers. When you're going into the bigger companies and corporate companies, and I don't even think they would make it on this channel with Julie and the group. They're so driven and they're so forced to do different things. They don't get this, they don't even get the connection and compassion that you're talking about, really, honestly.
Mhm.
Well, the most important question, are you a CSA?
No, I'm not.
Julie,
Someday
Julie,
we're going to be working on that.
Julie, there's your cue.
Yep, we're going to be working on
All
that.
right.
Um, Simi, now how long have you had this franchise?
A little over a year.
And you came from another industry.
I did, yes.
Yes. So so let's give her some time here. We'll get you going. We'll get you going for sure. So back to a little bit like Jessica, thanks for supporting me because the whole idea is, especially now with the service to seniors and the senior economy, we are all about collaboration and teaming together to bring service to seniors, to our senior homeowners, well, seniors and their families. So it is multi-generational. We're not only helping the actual senior, but their family as a whole. We're helping everybody. Does that
100%,
make sense, Jessica?
100%.
Yeah.
It's holistic.
Holistic.
A
Exactly.
holistic approach. I've had a problem. I don't want to take time here, but like, from where I am and who I am and how many people I know and being in the senior care industry, and I've had a really hard time penetrating my own network and explaining to them what I do now. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like, well, where's the breakdown? Like, I can't figure it out. And then one day, if somebody said, I understand what you're doing, you're trying to create a more holistic approach to families, and it doesn't happen without finances. It can't, but it has been. That's been a problem in the industry. So, but it's nice to have this group because it really does integrate those and breaks through those silos way more.
Well, and featuring seniors helping seniors, as you mentioned, I mean, there are many, 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 many home care agencies are popping up every day. And for all the statistics that SIMI brought up earlier, that's why. So, but the seniors helping seniors, that feature all by itself makes it unique in its offering. And like I'm in that demographic personally. So I can have conversations that connect with that, more effective conversations with consumers.
Yeah,
So what I was
that's
looking forward to doing is introducing this concept, and we all have an idea because it's in the name, seniors helping seniors. But bringing that activity to everyday business of what I do, what you do, what Clay does, what Roni does is important because we have that tool in our toolbox. Right, Simi?
Yeah, definitely. And it's always good to know what the options are. Um, and I think, it's funny when I was like looking at the data for the need for senior care, kind of what you were touching on, Jessica, there's a lot that just are at poverty level or just can't afford the care that they need. So that part is really interesting to me. And I know there's like the master plan of aging that's supposed to help support all this in the future, but like I wonder how all this is going to be resolved.
I was trying to help somebody in my community about the master planning, and she wasn't listening to me. And I said, screw it, I'm going to write my own master plan and copy all the county supervisors because I think I know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Because you see it at the edge when you're in home care and you're so close to the medical skilled nursing facilities, you're really very close to that densely populated or the population of people that need help. This is kind of like you're in it all day long. And they're not looking at it. They're like their lens is too far out. And so they're not capturing data. We have such a gap between the medical system and private pay system. That's a big issue. It's a big
Mhm.
problem.
Mhm.
And the confusion in between is the marketing funnels and the sales funnels. That's what's confusing families. That's why they can't make decisions. That's why they're in crisis. There's nothing
Mhm.
clear out there. There's no
Mhm.
clear path to like, what do I do now?
Right.
And so with that, I'm creating an aging intelligence platform in my own community to help with this. And then yes, I will slap them with my own master plan.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
you need to get your CSA to,
Yes, you're
Yeah.
correct.
yeah, bad girl, bad girl.
Actually, Mark was going to be doing that, and I was be going for my aging in place certification. He's supposed to be going for the
You can
CSA.
do both.
Uh, we could do, yeah, you could do both.
Yeah, it'll make you more gooder.
What I'm just excited about is bringing seniors helping seniors into our network
Ooh.
and introducing her and this concept so that we can, when we're working with our families, even our own families, our databases, our families, we will have this available to share with people because it is a little bit special. And the expectation of, or the apprehensiveness of people to contract home care, I think is eased a little bit because it's seniors helping seniors. And just the experience level of somebody being older, because that's what the name in it, what's the word I'm looking for? Implies that. Thank you, Valerie. Is super helpful. I mean, a lot of objections we get, especially, let's get some help for you to come into the home. I don't want anybody in the house. And if you got a young caregiver person that isn't, of a specific look or a specific personality or something, it's really hard. It's really difficult. And I don't know. Am I on the right track here, Simi? You have to teach me.
Yeah, you're on the right track. Once I interviewed a caregiver, and first I, video screened her and she was smoking on the interview.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I was like,
Oh my
whoa, what's
gosh.
going on here? You get all kinds of caregivers, but
I
I,
too.
I think you can kind of tell a caregiver that kind of has that heart of service, is what we like to call it. So,
Depends on what she was smoking too.
Wow. That's kind of an observation of the employment market out there as a whole now? Because I've seen a lot of memes about that kind of stuff
Well,
lately.
that's why
When
it's so important to vet
when
the caregivers. I mean, you can't do enough digging, and
well, the way the industry was when we had a bigger pool of caregivers, and I'm talking about the early 2000s or late 90s, all the company you had to have 2 years of experience caregiving. And then right around right leading up to COVID, not when COVID happened, leading up to, they kind of were like getting a little bit more like, oh, maybe like a year. And then during COVID, 6 months. And now if you have a beating heart and
fog 'em here. Hmm.
and you're willing to learn, although
Yeah.
I have to say, um, for caregivers, it's very hard to, unless it's that you got a good program and good opportunity. It's hard to do it in the home care setting. It's a little bit easier, I think, on assisted living to start out with caregiving. And a lot of people say, I really want a CNA. And it's great that somebody has a CNA certification. It's an 8-week course. It's there, you can find caregivers with a lot more experience than a CNA. But a lot of people just like say, I want to have a CNA, but you got to understand, they might not be very qualified or very experienced. Um, Somebody that doesn't even have a CNA certificate could be somebody that's has a million more times or lots of years underneath their belt. So just to make sure that families understand what that difference is really important.
So with your being a W-2 employer, so what are your requirements when you do hiring? Like all the normal things by the state of California, or do you have your policies?
So I mean they have to complete onboarding. They have to have permission to work in the US. Um, or
How is that described? I mean, is that like,
Mhm.
U.S. citizens.
Yeah, U.S. citizen or a green card holder, I believe. Um, and so yeah, that's like a requirement. But otherwise, it's just like when you bring on any employee. Um, so
and then what about okay, so you're insured, and I mean the next word that popped in my head was bonded, because you're having stranger people inside of your clients' homes,
mhm,
and we prepare people's homes when strangers are going to be in people's homes. There's a thing about that. And so do you do that? Is that part of the onboarding? Is that part of assessment? And do you tell the families, okay, you're going to have these caregivers come and help you in whatever capacity, senior helping senior, it doesn't matter, whatever caregiver. There's still a person coming into the home. So the jewelry needs to be put away. The, all the valuables, the gun locker locked, things like that.
mhm.
Do you go over all of that with your clients?
Um, I have not told them to like hide stuff.
Well,
Per
secure
se.
stuff. Yeah, it's security.
Yeah.
Safety and security.
No, I haven't like well not when I have the home visits, obviously I'm downstairs, I'm not in their bedrooms. I think oftentimes clients will naturally hide their valuables. Um, and then I've never had a complaint of someone saying, there's being theft going on, but I mean, I think it's a good point, perhaps.
So
But then
seniors
doesn't that
helping
bring,
seniors, yeah, they don't have a protocol for that for your client family.
no, we haven't had any like education, I guess, to say that you should hide things, but then doesn't that create fear and anxiety among seniors
No,
who's
it
looking
can
for?
it create. Well, I'm just okay. Sorry.
Do you have anything like a
Ow!
mentor program where you send somebody out with the newbies to break them in?
It's just practical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it's well, the thing is, if I have a caregiver, I wouldn't put a new caregiver on an advanced client case,
Mm,
one that's heavy on personal care or say that have, severe dementia or what have you, or a certain illness that they don't have experience in. I want to start them off easy, so it's going to be more companionship, meal prep, light housekeeping. Um, you kind of caregivers will tell me like what they want to do and what their comfort level is. I don't say, okay, you're going to have to do personal care. I ask them what services are you comfortable with, and then when I tell them about a client because they need to agree. I tell them everything they need to know about the client, the kind of services they're going to need to perform. If there is personal care, it could be something like you're going to have to walk them over to the bathroom and be on standby assist. So I have to see if they're comfortable with that, or if it's full assist. But the caregivers that I know are okay with all these things. They're usually the ones that are super experienced. They know what the job is like. I'm not going to have the new ones that have never done caregiving professionally. They've only done it for their family beyond those jobs.
Do
Do
you
you
have
do
any problem with using opposite sexes for personal care?
Have I
Having
had any issues?
having like a man take care of a woman, for like, toileting or dressing or any of the ADLs?
I will say that most of the females won't request a male, they'll request another female. But
Okay.
I think some of the males are some of them are okay with females, some of them will ask for male only. It kind of goes both ways.
Well, I was thinking the client from their standpoint, maybe they don't want to have a male helping them, you know.
Yeah, no, it happens. They'll
No,
ask
but
them for a female.
sometimes you have to have the male because they're stronger.
Yeah,
And,
Yeah.
yeah.
you always have to kind of like the transfers and things of that nature. It's like that's why caregivers have to be really trained and know their limits because, that's a thing that's really dragged down the whole industry is the workman comp cases.
hmm
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
for those clients, I do have some younger caregivers that I've also brought in to kind of assist with mobility and transfers. But I will say that even my experienced caregivers, they'll tell me their limits, like, hey, how much does this client weigh? So we'll take that into consideration to see if that's something they want to take on. If it's one that's really, really heavy on mobility and transfers, I'm really going to have to weigh whether I can bring that client on, or I might have to say, hey, you might need to seek care with someone else.
Well, you might have to interview like FedEx does with their workers, and they're required to lift 50 pounds in order to get hired.
Yeah. Well, I'm working with senior caregivers, so take into consideration might not be able to do the same things depending on
Mhm.
their age. So
do you do background checks on your
She
caregivers?
said yes.
yeah, through
No, I missed
Guardian.
it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Um,
Yeah. So background checks, TB tests, all the requirements that the state has.
fingerprint scan. I'm getting prompted here.
Yeah, fingerprint scan.
Fingerprints, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a
No,
big
still do.
question. Oh.
Preparedness. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, Lin.
Oh, no worries. Do you happen to know the number one reason why a caretaker would want to be a caretaker? And I know there's the compassionate part of it, and maybe they had a personal experience, but I'm just curious. Yeah.
Um, the main reason I've seen is that they've been a caregiver for a friend that passed away, their own parents, um, and so they notice that this is something that well, aspects of it they may not enjoy, like the personal care, but they really felt like this is something that they want to do further. They got experience in it. They saw that they have an interest in it, so they want to continue doing it. So that's the number one reason is like, hey, I like caregiving for people. I didn't even realize it until I had to do it. So this is something I could do. It's flexible work. It's part-time. So that's the number one reason I noticed.
Good.
Okay. Well, the reason why I ask this is because, as you know, we don't live in a cheap area, and our, service industry, firefighters, our teachers are having let's just say you need to be married to someone who's an engineer, has a lot of stock options or something to live in this area.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm just concerned, like, in terms of their housing, like, do they have to travel far? Are they able to find housing close by, or do they live in care? What's the living situation like?
Yeah. It's a good question. So, we tell our caregivers that, the ones I interview, like, hey, all the care is here in South San Jose. Are you okay with driving here? Generally speaking, if I have someone that's applying from Palo Alto or Cupertino, I advise them to look for another seniors helping seniors office if that's what they're really looking for, because it's going to be a really far drive. They're going to have to deal with traffic and mileage. So it may not be worth it for their hourly rate.
Okay, okay. I'm just, yeah, wondering if they have to travel far, but it sounds like you really try to place them closer to where they are.
Yeah,
Mm.
a lot of them will actually want to work for my office only because they live in South San Jose. So it's just like, hey, I have a 2-minute commute. This is wonderful. So that happens a lot. I have people that were like, they had professional careers, now they're retired. They're like, hey, I just want to do something really, really part-time, 15 hours a week. And don't give me any more clients than that. So like I'm comfortable. So yeah. And
Yeah,
then
thank
oftentimes
you.
the further ones, like they just don't work out. So I'll be hesitant to hire them because like they may not show up to shifts. So it's like an investment that I'm making that's really not going to pan out. And they need to have reliable transportation. I've hired people that don't have reliable transportation, and I've noticed that it doesn't work out. So that's another thing that's required.
And that would be it's kind of a challenge just to find caregivers and families to serve just within a certain geography. That would be a challenge all by itself. And then if you find yourself with a caregiver or a family that might be a bit far from your geography, you can share them with your other franchise owners, right?
That's right. Yeah, I'll refer them to the other agency in that area. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's a great opportunity for especially for second career, next career, something like you described, something to do and care for another person and then make some money. It's not a primary job.
Mhm.
Side gig.
Caregiving is in any capacity, I mean, is not a primary career. Okay, owning the franchise, yeah, but the actual job, no.
Some people.
So unfortunately too, but even in families, because caregiving is 100% 24/7, 365.
Yeah, it's tough.
So in my mind, what SIMI does is in support of those caregivers, the family that's already doing it.
Simi,
And
do you
that's
have
just
any
it.
because I love just in the Bay Area, San Jose area, technology and there's so many advancements, it's progressive. Do you have any recommendations on anything like that for gaps in care where people only want or can afford so much where like motion sensors or cameras or anything like that? Do you ever get hit up for that or have any recommendations?
I'm so glad you asked that because I've started learning about that space, but I don't know enough about it. I know there's so much technology now.
There was something, I was in a company and it was like, I'm talking over 15,
Mhm.
maybe more years ago. There was like this motion sensor company, and this was like, they were trying to like really focus on age tech at the time. I was like, nobody's going to use this. I'm like, man, what happened to that company? Because there was a lot of things that were too early. I've
Mhm.
been doing my research. So I sent you an email and I'll show you what I've been coming up with for my own personal family needs. And but I think that this is like a really interest, hopefully, these are some things that we're going to really need to close those gaps for care.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
there's some pretty cool stuff out there that's happening. So happy to share that with you, but I'd love to learn what you learned too.
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Jessica.
Yeah, do you have some technologies that you like or you're using within just your own business practice?
Um, I'm trying to think. Have you guys heard of the CRM called Welcome Home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're familiar with it. Yeah, so I like that it's kind of fine-tuned for home care agencies and then senior living facilities. So I've just been enjoying that. I wish it had more support for caregivers as well to kind of watch the process when you bring them on board. But I know there's other technologies for that we've looked into. But that's like the main one. In terms of payroll, I like Viventium. I don't know if you guys already know that. Okay, yeah, no, okay. That's a good one too. They have like their own onboarding piece and an employee dashboard where they can see the California Employment Labor Law, so they can refer to that as well as any company documents. They find it very user friendly, I see. So that's another thing that my caregivers have told me.
So no robots yet.
No, no robots yet. I did actually do a demo with a company that does an AI screening for caregivers. And it was
What?
pretty good, but I wasn't ready for that kind of thing yet. But I thought their technology was pretty good.
There's and I think there's like a lot of one of the monitors I was looking at is more budget friendly and kind of connects with Alexa if you already have it right now. That's one of the ones I've been looking into. I think Alexa and that the bridge between Alexa and having some kind of
Google
engagement,
Home.
I
Hmm.
think that's going to be very helpful in the next couple of
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to look into that.
And
Yeah.
then how about any technologies that caregivers can use in the service of taking care of the
Yeah,
what
so
what do you call them? A patron? What do you call them? What do you call them? See me?
I call them caregivers.
No, I mean your
Um,
client. Is it just your
oh,
client?
care receivers, care
Oh, care
receiver.
receiver. Okay.
Yeah.
People needing
Um,
care.
the Well Sky, we use Well Sky. I know you guys are probably familiar with that.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Um, so it's used for maintaining client shifts, clocking in for shifts for caregivers,
Hmm.
housing all of the client data, as well as our caregiver data. And we can run reports on it, um, see what hours are like. We can match caregivers and clients that way as well if we need to. Um, we can create badges with it. So there's a bunch of stuff. I don't know any other CRMs outside of WellSky, so my knowledge is
Uh,
limited on that.
You
Yeah.
know, what I'm doing right now, Simi, as we're talking, is there's a gentleman who has a CRM for placement. He has over 1,000 clients, and he's building a CRM for home care, and he just wants feedback from now
Oh,
for people now. So I'm connecting the
Well,
two of
see
you.
me, you would be a fabulous beta for that.
We got everybody in Julie's group.
Yeah,
We got everything for everybody.
exactly. All right, it's 12:30. Anybody have any more questions? Anything they want to share? Anything they want to tell Simi about? Awesome.
I did have a
No,
question.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
It wasn't on that. I did send you an email, Julie, about this is kind of off topic, so we can discuss it later, but having the capability of advertising those home tours on social media.
Mickelin, you can post away.
Okay, great. Okay. I think
Post
of
away onto the social media.
so you have I think that was a flyer that you sent out on
Yeah,
Tracy.
on the email.
That was the one you sent yesterday.
Yeah,
Okay, great, great. Okay, thank you. Great
yeah.
presentation, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I did miss, yeah, that's a great thought. I did miss one thing and I wasn't sure if I heard it correct. I know this is seniors helping seniors, but I heard you say something about $22. Do you do caretakers that are not seniors?
yes, we have hired some younger caregivers that are not seniors.
Is that the lower price, the $22? I heard you say something about $22 an hour.
Yeah, no, our starting rate is $22 for caregivers,
Okay.
regardless of age.
Oh,
What about the care recipient though? Is there an age for that too?
Generally they're all seniors, but we haven't really had an issue
Yep.
with age, so haven't had to factor that in.
Okay.
but your normal, more experienced ones are 40 to 44?
Um, for billing or experienced caregivers.
Yes, the experienced ones, the very experienced ones.
So I say this to all my caregivers. I'm going to bring you on at 22. I'm not just going to pay you more. I have to see what your performance is like, your reliability is like. If you just because you're experienced doesn't mean you're going to be reliable. And you're going to have good interactions. I do look at performance, and if I see that they're doing well, I will raise their rates.
Okay. But they max out at 44?
No, that's the billing rate. It's between 42 and 44.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you. The billing rate's different from what they get.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Okay, that's all I had.
I just wanted to have Simi here because I'm gonna actually need her to get me somebody to come and help me. I mean,
You're beyond
eventually.
help, Julie. You're way beyond help. No way.
And so she didn't talk about this specialized help. So you have categories, and you did have one of the slides said something about that, because it's not just about ADLs. You can get help if you need help with the household chores, right?
IADLs.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, all of that. Yeah. So, and that's amazing. Thank you, Tammy. So, and the one thing that I, would love to, it's just light housekeeping, a regular light housekeeping would be such a value to any family, just for maintenance.
True.
Yeah. Anyway, I just want to make that. Oh, pet care. Yeah, for sure. Well, because I'm a crazy cat lady. Yeah, see me. What if I said, okay, I need help and I have cats.
I actually have caregivers that love animals. I have like one that's a dog trainer and one that has like 6 different animals in her house, and they just both love animals. And unfortunately, no one asked me for pet care. That's the one thing I'm looking forward to because I love dogs. But yeah, if it comes up, I'm sure we could figure something out.
We'll bring one as a companion dog.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Um,
one thought came to my mind is, if you are the recipient of some kind of a medical episode, like a surgery, and you have a recovery time, you're going to be recovering at home. I would call CME to have just somebody come in to take care of the pets while I'm recovering. That's a big job, just all by itself. And the light housekeeping. I'm just saying. All right. Anybody else have any questions? Comments? Carol?
Wanted
Hi,
to.
Carol Sue.
Hi, Miss Julie. How are you? You look so cute today with your hair up like that. And I'm also a crazy cat lady.
Yay.
I built my little castle on my front porch.
Nice.
I'll show you pictures one day. Well, hi, everybody. Since there was
So
some,
did you have a question? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Did you
well,
have a question for Simi?
no, well, when, I actually did have a little event a few years ago, and I passed out. I lost 27 hours, and nobody could find out what it was. What happened? I'll never get my 27 hours back, but I was pretty spacey when I got home. I was hospitalized for 5.5 days, and then I was tested for 6 months, and I'm totally fine. They think it was an interaction between medications. But when I got home, caregivers started showing up. And this was really strange because I didn't call anybody. I'm not accustomed to having strangers in my house, let alone somebody helping me. I'm single. I've lived alone for a long time now.
Are you on Medicare?
Yes.
That's what happened then. They dispatch these people after certain events, like when you had to be in the hospital for a period of time, and
Yeah.
that's part of it during the release.
So that triggered something.
Yeah,
Oh, well, thank
and
you, Skip. I
Medicare.
did not know.
Yeah.
Truly, and I never even followed up on it.
Well, that's when we're here for. We got to straighten you guys out.
Well, and that's why I keep on coming back. I want to learn
Yeah.
more.
And then you could join the CSA to learn more. Yeah.
One thing at a time. I'm trying to first pull out of what I'm doing and learn more there. I'm getting new licenses now, but I digress. But what was funny is that I was saying, well, why are you here? Well, I could do this for you. I could do that. I said, no, there's nothing to do. Like, go. I was literally telling them, go. If they wouldn't leave, I said, sit down and watch TV. I don't care. I wasn't okay. I didn't know I wasn't okay, I guess. But now, if it ever happens again, it's like, clean the house, please.
Well, there's limits. There's limits.
But yeah, but the truth is, it was a huge help had I understood what was happening and knew what my options are. And that's key, I think, to know what the options are. Because being somebody who's has been up until that point fiercely independent, I am not one to even know what kind of help is available because I would never look for it. So, and I think that a lot of people might be like me that just they don't know what
Absolutely.
is here and what's not. When's a good time for me to reach out for help?
We don't know what we don't know.
You I know some things really, really well, but others, no. So it's important also to, in addition to the caregivers and reaching out to them and building the best group possible, by the caregivers educating people out there as to what care is available is just as important as having them available. You know, it's similar to what I do. I offer a fabulous service that gets people money. But if they don't know that they can reach out to me and get the financial help they need, then what good is it? And I see the similarity because I'm not in your world. And for those of you that don't know me, what I do, I see there are two reverse mortgage people here. And what I do is very similar, only rather than using a home, I'm using a life insurance policy. And a policy, more than 80% of all life insurance policy owners walk away from it at the end, and they get nothing. So if those people find me first and know that they can sell it and get some cash, they're not going to walk away so quickly. They'll take the cash, which then can pay for assisted living or home care, or any number of things.
There,
And Julie, what about next week?
so next week we're gonna have, I'm so excited. Driver
Yeah.
safety.
Ooh.
Driver safety.
Yeah, Mars is
Driver
with
safety next week, Barbara.
Mars is with AARP, and he'll be presenting to us. I'm hoping he's going to also share about taking away the keys, but we'll see what we can do. But yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting next week.
Yeah,
As in
well,
taking the keys, disallowing somebody to drive.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
so we
a hard
can learn
one.
the latest. We'll get all updated on the kind of conversations that we can have with our family members or just everybody, and what to look for, how to have these conversations. That's going to be amazing. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I did send out the information for the next tour that we're going to Lathrop and Tracy on June 25th. I will send out, I will keep everybody posted. So
Active
really
over
looking
50.
forward to that.
Active
ahead.
over 50. Active over 50.
Oh yeah.
Thursday.
Oh yeah. Thursday here in Campbell. Well, I mean, it's a you know,
Duh.
it's not it's
Duh.
in downtown or at the Campbell Community Center, we're doing the AO50 AO50 Seniors Fair.
That's active over 50.
Active over 50.
Larry,
So
have
I'm having a table. We're gonna have a lot of there's gonna be a couple CAPS people there. I hope the elevator guy is gonna be there again. He was there last year. I'll have everybody a complete report. And of course, you'll know where will put my complete report for this event.
And Julie, when's the event?
On Thursday.
Oh, wow.
Thursday.
Is this the same one they had last year at the Campbell Community Center?
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't hear about it.
they've had several, but Larry does one every year. And the problem is it's only 3 hours long. It's from 10 until 1. So you got to make the adjustment for that if you want to attend.
I'll put the details in the bullet. Oh no,
Why
it's too
don't you
late.
put the
It's
flyer in the
never
bulletin?
mind. Email it. I'll put a report.
Put the flyer in.
Okay. All righty.
It's at the Campbell Community
Yeah,
Center.
Campbell.
Yeah,
And
Mhm.
is it in the gym area?
it's the
Then
large bank. What do they call it? The
the Orchard
auditorium.
City Banquet Hall.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Let
And
me
it's
see if
from
I
10
can
to 1, correct?
10 to 1.
10 to
Yeah.
1.
Oh, okay. Okay. Can we bring our grandchildren? Because I'll have
You can
them
bring
over.
anybody.
Okay. One comment. So first of all, thank you, Simi, is it? And very good. I'm going to connect you, my sister, because I think she'll need help with my dad.
Well, that's a great
And
idea, Lynn. Yep.
yeah, I mean, she's his caretaker, but she recently has a job as well. So, and she likes the break too, like we all do. The other thing that is thank you also for the tour. Last month, I actually brought two groups this time to Trilogy and to Twin Oaks this last Saturday. The only thing is, I wanted to see if we could do, because the comment was, oh, it's a little far. Are there any that's closer to us that we can attend?
No,
Or,
Lynn.
oh,
If
no.
there were, we'd be going to them. These
Oh,
are
so
the closest. These are the closest new construction
oh,
communities for
okay.
55 and over gated resort new construction communities.
Okay, I
Yeah,
see.
if we had that here, we would be going there. But
Right,
that's
because we're
yeah,
out of land. We're out of
yeah,
land here.
yeah.
Okay, got it, got it. That's what I thought.
We do have new senior living communities coming on to inside our market here, but they're not single family home real estate. They're the senior living communities. We have a brand new CCRC, a life plan community that's coming to Los Gatos.
Oh,
That we're going to be, that's local, but we don't have any
Oh,
new construction real estate going on here. So
okay, got it. I figured, but I just wanted to confirm.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. But you guys had a good time last Saturday?
We did. So was my dad and his friend and my aunt who was visiting from DC and his friend's son and girlfriend and my sister. So there was an entourage. And so yeah, Debbie was great. And we got lunch at McCain's and then we went over to Twin Oaks. Yeah. But
Awesome.
the family is in Europe. So Terry was there though. So that was good.
Well, here's a really good illustration of the follow up, the value of the follow up that we will get from doing these endeavors in the first place and knowing these properties, and
Mm-hmm.
especially for our real estate business and our clients. Just knowing that this product is available and
Yeah.
following up is amazing.
Yep. Yeah.
So I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate that you did that. Thank you, Lynn.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Thank you.
And we'll be doing more. It's exciting
Yes,
for
it is.
sure.
and for those of you that like to plan ahead, my next SRES class is going to be through CAR once again. It's going to be September 30th and October 1st. They're two back-to-back days, but that'll be the next one coming up. I'm trying to work with SCORE about getting maybe another one in before the end of the year, but that's to be determined. So if you want to take a refresher, if you want anybody that you know of that needs to get their SRES or do it as a refresher, then they can sign up.
And it's good to put it on the books early. Save the date. Save the date.
The
Yep.
question about the SRES certification, is there any CEs continuing education that we,
No, no.
okay, so once we
Unfortunately,
get it, no, okay.
they used to, but and I really disagree with this. They offer a 45-hour all-in-one renewal course that you can take, to renew the license with just one class. And they say that by putting CE credits with these other courses, that it's taking away from that 45-hour sign up that people have. I think that's ridiculous, but that's only my opinion. But the good news is that you do get 12 hours of CE for CSA renewal, and that's a big deal for some of the CSAs.
All right, everybody.
All right.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Simi, so much for
Thank
being
you,
here.
everyone.
And welcome to the group. We're going to keep you.
Have a great day, everybody.
And
Thank you.
thank
Bye.
you, everybody. Okay, have a great week.
Take care.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Everybody, bye-bye.